Hey, it's Chaya and I'm back with another episode of Unstuck and Unstoppable, a series created especially for people like me and you, people who want the formula, the secret formula of how to get out of every situation and how to become unstoppable, be less afraid of all the new ones. So, after we talked about just a little bit of how you just show up, how you're going to do this one differently, after we talked about how you talk to your inner child, and after we talked about how you make your new standard, I want to give you the ability to actually show up for the 30 days, to actually really just show up. So let me explain to you like this. Hundreds of people see this video and don't go in. You're not one of them. You're here and you're watching. I want to explain to you like this as well. Hundreds of people go in and watch the first one and don't watch the second, the third, or the fourth. You're not one of them. You're here and you're watching it now. Now, for a very long time, I used to live with this voice in my head that would literally, and I still have it sometimes, it would beat the crap out of me. If I woke up at 5, I should have woken up at 4. If I woke up at 6, I should have woken up at 5. If I did this, I should have done that. No matter what I did, I couldn't get it right. And at some point, I stopped caring and didn't want to do anything. And that's why I got stuck in bed forever, because the truth is, I said I was afraid of other people. I had anxiety, social anxiety, but the truth is I had anxiety for my own self, from the doubt that lived inside of my head and that couldn't stop eating at my brain. And then I realized something. Imagine those voices worked for me. Imagine instead of them hurting me, I can use them as an opportunity to go inward and heal parts of me. How much healing would I be able to do, and how strong would I get? And that's when I went on a mission that I'm about to tell you about, that will change your life. Just by knowing about it alone, even if you do nothing with it. That mission was to work inward, to look inward. Every time that, and sometimes I do better, sometimes I do worse, but every time that I hear those voices in my head, I go inward and look for that inner child that we met 2 days ago, for that inner child. I go look inside for her to see what it is that happened. So let me explain it to you. Let me actually show it to you, right? How does it look? So it looks like this. For example, I will have a struggle with a friend of mine, for example, right? Where I just feel a lot of intense feelings. And you're going to hear me saying this sentence a lot. If it's hysterical, it's historical. Anything that makes you really hysterical is something from your past, because nothing from today is big enough to actually wake up that hysterical part. The only thing that will is something from your past where you become a child again and you feel scared. And if your inner child feels scared and you haven't calmed it down, it will start to act out. And you might act sometimes like a really big child, a really big baby to other people, right? And you're like, oh my God, I would never do that. But yeah, you would if your inner child is scared. So for example, there's this one girl that, oh my God, I cannot even explain to you. She triggers me like crazy. There are times where I literally want to shake her and wake her up and be like, what is up with you? And then what I've made a decision to do, and it's worked out beautifully, is every time I feel the need to do that, to go inside and figure out what is happening with my little one and ask her, hey sweetheart, what are you feeling? And so, for a while it was a back and forth of different things and different fears, being afraid that, just for my safety around this girl and all that. And then recently, and this is pretty cool, a few days, like the last few days, it's been just a weird, I don't know, like every few minutes I feel like angry at her and all that. And I finally went inside and I found out that it really hurt, because I thought she was going to be someone else. I thought she was going to be a close friend of mine. I thought she was going to be someone that would love me the way I loved her, and care about me the way I cared about her. Someone who would make space for me and respect me and understand that my traumas do lead me to needing more safety and a little more understanding, and And, and I thought that her understanding a little bit about my traumas would lead to her being more understanding and kind to me. And that's not the case. And some part of me feels really rejected and abandoned by her. And it really hurts, because that's a feeling I felt a lot at home, in school. I felt it all over the place throughout my childhood. So yeah, whenever I feel that feeling from her again, when I feel again abandoned or rejected, which is from me, whatever, that's her loss, but it's a feeling I generate, then I get really hysterical and I want to literally kill the part of her that does that. I want to what is wrong with you? How, I'm on your team, I'm right here, and it won't come through because I become really young. And I need something out of it rather than just be there. That was me modeling to you an example of it. And what I want to bring to you today, why I brought this, why I shared this, why I opened it up, is because in order to go through the process of change, there will be moments where we will be triggered. Have you ever felt that? How right when you got to that place where you're like, oh my God, I'm almost through. And then there's this big, huge ass fear that shows up out of nowhere. And suddenly you're in bed for 2 days. Or you're just sick, you're not interested, you don't want to do it, you're done working out, you're done. Have you ever felt that? Well, if you're saying no, then you're lying, and you lie about other things too, okay? Because if not, you'd be doing all the stuff you said you were going to do. But you're not, right? Because at some point, that ceiling showed up, that moment where you're like, that's it, I can't do it. Something became hysterical inside of you and broke off. Or something inside of you said, I don't care anymore. Why? I want to make I want this to be different. I want you to have the chance to get all the way to the end by learning how to take it inward. And that is the biggest thing I can teach you, is how to take it inward and notice what's going on inside. Not just be a reactor. Recognize what is going on inside. What is affecting me right now? Imagine you can do that. Imagine the people who trigger you the most can become the reason you get to know more and more of you. Why do they trigger you? What are they bringing up? What pain? So as we go through this process, I want to invite you to notice when you want to give up or you want to just quit. What are you telling yourself? Are you allowing the voices in your head to tell you, oh my God, you couldn't, you shouldn't, you this, you that, the other? Are you allowing them to speak? Or are you allowing yourself to say, why are these voices here? Hundreds of people are not watching this. I am. So I deserve a prize for that, not to get beaten. What if you could stop the beating today? So today, to wrap it up, what I want to invite you to do is recognize when you beat yourself, recognize when you get hysterical. Both times you want to do the same thing. You want to allow yourself to go inside and understand why. If you're beating yourself, guaranteed someone in your childhood is really the one beating you at this moment. It can be a parent, it could be a teacher. If your parents used to always tell you, different things about yourself, like you're never going to find love, or like clean up your room, what's wrong with you? And I know there's nothing, we'll leave them out of it for now, but the concept of what they told you and the way they told you, is it any wonder that you talk to yourself like that? That's how you think you can promote yourself actually doing what you want to do. But is that going to work? Is that going to work? Or has it not worked until now? No, it hasn't, right? So, take a deep breath. And I want you to open up the part in your mind that during these 30 days, whenever you try to beat yourself on this, on watching, on not doing enough, on anything in your life, you create just a little bit of space to let go and be kind to yourself instead. And anytime you get triggered, we're doing the same thing for both. We're finding a space to be kind and understanding to ourselves, to open up the door to kindness and to love, to self-love, something we deserve more than anything. Alrighty. Did you like this? Is this something that you're learning from? Come on, you know what to do. Like and subscribe now, and I'll see you tomorrow.